the shining example of when confidence can affect gameplay. We saw just how a fire has been lit beneath him after seeing just how good victory feels. Let's not forget he spent months on the bench watching competitive Counter-Strike, you know, previously hailed as one of the best in the world, and then forced to sit back and watch as not only his team, but everyone else competed at the tournaments he wished he could be attending. Well, Odense is probably one of them that he'd have at the tip of his tongue, and the Pro League finals over in Denmark next month are within his control. A win versus Hellraisers in a clean one would be a step in that direction.
Yeah, so knowing that Fnatic dropped a map, if Faze were able to pick up 2 here without dropping one of their own, it's going to make life a lot easier for them if we do get into a tie scenario across the board. Obviously, for those of you playing at home, there is a plethora of different things used to break up these teams, but map differences is one of the earlier ones, other than points accumulated.
Do you reckon we see overpass again from Hellraisers?
I think they should pick into it. It's not that I think that Faze have a bad overpass, but it's not something that we see them play too often. Even though there was that Vitality game where they hammered them, it's something that Hellraisers looked very good on and maybe a strength of theirs. So if they pick into that, it would make some sense. And I wouldn't be too surprised either if we saw that a Faze pick into Inferno, because Fnatic were able to make them sweat yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't look like the cleanest of Infernos for Hellraisers. But of course, you know, this does come with time. You're developing a 7-map pool, as all teams do aspire to, if not 6. But Overpass certainly does seem to be at the tippy top of Hellraisers' preference list. Where did Faze choose to take it? Let's find out as we reveal the next. It's going to be Dust 2. Not Inferno, but still looking to frag out. Yeah,
Dust 2 could be a little bit of a curious one there. I think if the individuals on this side of Hellraisers find some confidence, then, you know, everybody in Counter-Strike reaches a similar level, right? Your aim can only be so good, unless you're like a Nico, right? Then your aim is better than most people's. But most people that have a similar level of gameplay that comes down to a lot of those buzzwords you're talking about, confidence or preparation as a team. I'd be surprised if we would see this one. I think Inferno as a 3rd would make sense, or maybe Hellraisers are happy to go to Nuke here. Oh, Nuke's gone in the first place, sorry. Yeah, okay, it will be Inferno. There we go. So if we want to touch on a couple of the cool things that we saw last night on Overpass from Hellraisers, on their T side, Angel leading by example there in the bathroom area with the SG. Very, very effective. They also had a lot of pistol success over their series last night. And then when they were getting kills over towards that A bomb site, they would just sit and wait for the re-aggression from Fnatic to come on in. So that's something to look for here. If FaZe are going to re-aggress across the map, they have to be wary of these Hellraisers players sitting and waiting.
I was just checking out Crush's earpieces there. I thought they might have been the custom molded ones. Doesn't seem to be the case. Still big Clan the Pioneers in that department. Either way, coach, on your screen, we do have Yanko standing behind FaZe Clan known as YNK. And it's been a real tumultuous battle to make this FaZe Clan roster work. So much talent and starting to see those dividends paid. Yeah,
it's been some time for Yanko now since his transition from the analyst desk to being a coach. And he's gone from obviously MIBR now over to the FaZe Clan roster. And finally, I think they've got all the pieces of the puzzle where they want it. And as we were talking about before, that respect, or at least everybody being on the same page with this team, is helping them on the rise. Now, Nico, he was giving us a little bit of an interview in the piece that we threw to before the last break, mentioning that it's important for everybody here to come on through and show a good form against Fnatic and Vitality if they want to show they're really a contender.
Yeah, and I think in that interview as well that stood out to me was him highlighting that he was attributing some of the low points in FaZe Clan's recent 2019 tournament runs was down to him and some bad calls. I mean, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and they're calling not going to be too hard for him on the CT side of this map, but when we flick over to the T side, Alex, he might have something to do.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that second half of FaZe Clan, but it's time for us to jump in. It's Group B, and we're looking to find a step in the right direction. Will it be FaZe? Will it be Hellraisers? Harry and Hugo are about to find out.
Yeah, this FaZe Clan squad so often living rent-free in the heads of their opponents, right? They're a bunch of names that you just cannot forget. I'm really going to be looking towards Olaf on that AWP, right? He's been looking phenomenal as of late. Cole, Nico, and Ray, they've all been stepping up with their own kind of times to shine across the board. Rain had a stellar game back on Mirage just yesterday in that game versus Zywoo. And yeah, Hellraisers here, obviously they were able to take Overpass versus, have I really done this? Fnatic, that's the one. I remembered it was a bunch of Swedes, couldn't remember the team name. But yeah, they were able to grab that just yesterday.
Yeah, talking to Swedes, and you talk of Olaf more specifically on that AWP, well, someone to watch out for on the other side of things is Hellraisers' Nuki. He was the top performer when it came to those AWP kills in the entire series over Fnatic yesterday, despite losing overall to JW and the boys. And Hellraisers, they really have their work cut out for them, Harry, today. We already talked about how, you know, yesterday up against Fnatic, playing with a stand-in, that was their best chance of getting a win on the board. Now they got FaZe and Vitality to meet, the two top teams of the group, and yeah, it's not going to be easy. But Overpass, that's a map that we've at least seen a hell of a lot of success from Hellraisers on here so far, and it was a flawless CT side if I recall yesterday as well. So many retakes. So while they will be beginning on the T side, let's look to that second half.
If I'm not mistaken, I saw a little stat line heading into this, and I think it said something like after getting the first kill, Hellraisers are able to convert 92% of rounds.
And that's like Chad said, you know, they get that frag, they wait for the re-aggression. Fnatic gave them a lot of pushes, and we just have people like Angel hiding around the toilets, waiting for the re-aggression players, sitting outside of B Monster. The second they get another frag, well, they go storming into bomb site. So yeah, you play your rounds patiently, you have good rotations between that upper and lower bomb site on the T side, like you can do an Overpass very swiftly, and you're going to find a lot of success. And Hellraisers, they did a good job of playing with those rotations of Fnatic yesterday, and well, now they've got to do it up against an even more well-armed Faze clan.
I think one of the things that makes this Faze roster so deadly on a map like Overpass, or really on any map, I'm really looking at Olaf, and that is because his AWPing has looked phenomenal as of late. He's been able to keep up with some of, you know, the real big boy AWPers that have been in play, both here in the Pro League and outside of it, right? And so the fact that he's keeping up there and is so strong on the rifles means you're not in this situation where, like, you know, like Fnatic found out yesterday, if they weren't getting that AWP on JW, they were really struggling to find success, right? Here with Olaf, it doesn't matter as much. You would prefer for him to have that AWP. You would love it, especially, you know, CT side Overpass, him to be going for those aggressive mid peaks, challenging with the AWP. But at the same time, it's not the end of the world if you don't get it. So you've got a lot of versatility there, thanks to him.
Well, versatility in not just one way. I mean, anyone on this team could take the AWP. We've seen 4 out of the 5 players use it for this roster. Brokey, being the latest addition as well, had it a little bit yesterday on Mirage. Obviously, you know, Cold likes the second AWP. He did back in SK in the day from time to time. And Nico, he is a man of many weapons, Harry. Nothing will stand in his way. And let's see if Hellraisers can, as they start things off over on the T side of their map pick. Faze clan, they've got the kit, they've got the smoke on Brokey, and they're up against mostly armor.
Yeah, Crush is going to don the utility here for his squad. Now, it's not too uncommon to see Angel be the man to do it more often than not. So that's an interesting one as he dons the armor in this round. Nico's going to go peeking into middle. You can see the Betway odds putting this one pretty heavily in favor of FaZe Clan, and you can understand why Hellraisers are coming into this as the heavy underdogs. And this fast aggression, while it has got one man trapped here, Hellraisers, they've spotted it and they've just gone rotating away. They've seen so many players over in top mid. As a result, they know this B side of the map is almost guaranteed to be empty. Lucky enough, this double boost down towards the short side has netted a kill onto Crush. And now man advantage taken for FaZe. They can move into the retake effectively in a 5v3. And now they will be in an actual 5v3.
Yeah, Angel eventually getting picked up. Nico pushed out through middle. And even though Hellraisers made a great heads-up call to get into that B site, FaZe were expecting it. They were holding double short side and gave up this monster position now with a kit in for the retake. Nice shot. Nuki can't follow up though. Olaf's got a kill. Flourish finding a dink onto Cold Zero, and the time really is low. They need to get on that defuse right here and right now. Nico's got the smoke and he will throw it out, but it's not going to land on the bomb. Flourish still has an angle, but he's been killed from upper. Now just Scooby spamming the smoke, desperately looking for this kill to Nico, but he doesn't know where the bomb is planted, and FaZe are going to get away with the pistol round. That is the danger of planting an unfamiliar spot, especially when you're taking that CT control.
Yeah, second that smoke goes down for old mate Scooby, it's like finding a hay in a needle stack, right? Like he's just getting tagged on the peak. He can't find the man in the smoke. It's not a conventional plant, so you don't really know where that defuse is going to be. And FaZe, they will manage that one. It still gets pretty close, considering that was a 5v3. I think, you know, you take into account the context of that round and the fact that Hellraisers do get the B bomb site. It does make sense it ends up being so close. Here's the Force Spy, though, on the back of getting that bomb plant.
So good as well.
One thing that's a bit interesting, Scooby doesn't have head armor here, and he had enough money to grab it. I hope that's not something that's going to come back to punish HR in any way, shape, or form.
That definitely does seem curious.
Because now he's one shot to everything in the head, right? Whether it's the FAMAS, whether it's the M4, the MP9. And you know, if you die, you potentially put a Krieg into the hands of FaZe. That is... well, not ideal, to say the very least. We know how strong that gun is, especially for the CT side.
We'll have to see if that comes into play then, Harry, and what will be the result of that. Hellraisers taking long control. Faze giving them a lot of room to maneuver here with no one inside of the toilets, just double setup on the site. But Olof is spotting, and that's a tag. Bit by bit, this scout chips away at the Kriegs in play for Hellraisers. Re-aggression on short for Rain, and a rotate up from Brokey. So A site is being heavily defended here by the FaZe clan roster. Hellraisers getting a bit closer. Olof assisting his teammate with a bit of a smoke just to set him up in front of the divider. But Rain, that smoke maybe going a bit deeper than he anticipated, giving room for Crush to isolate him. Olof is going to move back as well. And 25 seconds, Hellraisers, they need to start moving. Oh,
not like
there's
that.
the head armor.
Yeah, yeah. That's not how they wanted this to go. Oh dear. Well, you know, yeah. Second round in for FaZe. Team kill for Hellraisers, never ideal.
Nope.
And both those Kriegs retrieved. FaZe are very, very happy with that. They're
So's
already
Yanko.
smiling. Yanko's having a laugh. It's real scary, I think, when Yanko's smiling.
Yeah, that's when you know things are not good for Hellraisers, but early start, Harry. Only a 2-0 lead for FaZe before the Pistols come back out here for the T side. And yeah, a bit of an awkward one there with a team kill, not the end of the world. That re-aggression from Rain is very well timed, and there's not much the Hellraisers can do to stop it without getting the info. Caught by surprise.
And you know what? While we're here, we consider this is just the eco from HR, or, well, I mean, you know, they've got something in play. But the odds are they're going to play a slower round. We'll throw a little congratulations, a little Pro League congrats out to Mr. Henry Greer, a regular face here on the Pro League usually, for winning Esports Commentator of the Year. What an achievement. He is the king of esports after all. Speaking of which, dethroned in this round, Rain was taken down, but it's not really much to write home about, right? This pistol getting 1 kill, and the rifle should just mop the rest of this up.
You know, it's kind of nice to see Henry win that, because now after weeks of you telling me you're the best in the world, Harry, we finally have evidence to prove you wrong.
Yeah, this time around, I'll get him next time. I'll get him next time. But yeah, you know, he's earned it.
I love this setup the FaZe keep doing. Take a look at Brokey down on that B bomb site, holding on from the short side. They're giving up B so much because Brokey has all this information and FaZe can afford to play retake. Brokey should be able to get away with a couple of kills here, plus the info. Oh, the FAMAS is trash though, and he will only get 1. That's a gun for Hellraisers, but they don't want to stop on their path to this B bomb site. They want that plant ASAP. Molly's going to make things difficult though, and Cold Zero's coming from the heaven, and one by one, Hellraisers starting to fall. Flourish, if he can get a plant, that'd be nice, but the artillery reigns in, and a team ace for FaZe Clan as they deal with the pistols very easily.
And now we got this first buy ready to come through with some light investment that round and a few players buying down to like the $1,500 mark. You're going to be getting what? 2,900 at the end of that one, so they're all good. They can get everything that they need. We'll even have that AWP in play over in the hands of Nuki. You can see those players that invested a little bit more. They're a tiny bit more restricted in terms of the utility. Also, important to note, AWP out in the hands of Olof. I'm very happy that we see both these AWPs come into play in this round because we immediately get that head-to-head of Olof and Nuki as a potential. Olof is over towards toilets with his AWP, but he's going to be looking at Party. With Hellraisers out in mid, there's a good chance that he might get some action on this AWP.
Nice kill from Brokey, though, starting down on that B-bomb site. The short re-aggression again for FaZe paying off, and he gets a chance to live to fight another day. Good flash as Rain runs, and he will be run down by Crush. 4-on-4 now as Hellraisers find that equalizer, and it forces a rotation up towards a top site. Nico going up and above. Olof trying to hit that flick, but just a little bit too off as Nico re-aggresses. This is the re-aggression that was enabling Rain to pick up 2 kills outside those toilets in round number 2, but it won't come into play here as Hellraisers set their sights down on B. This time FaZe don't have that short water control, so Hellraisers will be able to get closer to this B site before FaZe realize. In fact, they'll be able to get into it because FaZe are playing retake. Boost up the cold. This Krieg, however, so powerful from atop this position. The only danger is if you are scoped in on Monster, sure is a problem, and they can walk into your crosshairs with your scope covering them. So need to be very careful if you're cold as the execute comes in.
This is one of the ideal times to have this, though. If Cold gets one kill, there you go. He just drops down. They disassemble the boost because that's a very easy angle to pre-fire, but they're fine with that. They've got a 4-on-3, now a 4-on-2. This Krieg continuing to put up numbers. They finally get rid of Cold's error, and they'll get that bomb planted. Nuki and Flaric left up in the 2-on-3, and Nuki tries to get the peek into heaven, but to his demise, Flaric, the last man standing, and Nico over at short is going to get caught out there. Anticipating that he was hanging around this smoke. They do now know where Flaric is, though. He's got to try and hold this one down, but the bomb is planted for him.
Yeah, smoke is not the bit of utility you want either in this clutch. It's going to allow him to fire off blanks without getting shot through it. Brokey pushing up, and the defuse is already happening. Flaric is going to get the kill, but it doesn't matter with Olof surviving or picked back up for Flaric at least, but Olof actually trades out and grabs Nuki's on the site. So it's a 1-for-1. It's a swapperoo, Harry, as FaZe Clan take yet another round on this CT
I
side.
kind of love that they're looking at it and they're like, oh, he's short, the smoke's fading, we don't have one. And then the smoke goes down and Olof goes, oh, he smoke bombed for us, and then just hops on it.
Like, I like the idea there, right?
No, it makes sense,
you're just trying to spam through it. It means you at least get to peek without getting double peeked. In a 1-on-1, that makes no sense. In a 1-on-2, you know someone's covering that defuse, but if you don't kill the diffuser through the smoke, well, that's exactly what happens. You lose a round. So
yeah, I think, you know, and as you say, like, really that's kind of the only option he had, and there was a great deal of luck that would have to have also gone his way for that one to come through. So now 4-0 lead for FaZe. They're off to a blinding start. The investment's back in from Hellraisers. That orb's still in play, obviously. That's been thrown over to Nuki. He gets to give it another go here. A bit of damage being exchanged, and when I say a bit, I really do mean a bit. Like, ooh, negligible almost. There's a little bit more there, the back and forth between Angel and Nico. HR trying to play this slow style, but I do feel like FaZe, unlike, you know, what we saw from Fnatic, where I think especially, you know, there was a lot of challenging down towards area of the map like Monster and things like that, right? You think about, especially on their T side, how Hellraisers kept getting kills through the smoke, especially Crush down towards Monster. FaZe just aren't going to give you those sorts of peaks. Instead, they'll meet this passive stance with one of their own, and we've been seeing it's later in the round that they try and take this aggression. Once Hellraisers have given this default up, already they're sat with a man advantage here, so HR on the back foot to try and now make something of this round.
Ooh, the flash though, and Rain's blind. He's spraying away, and fair enough, he gets a dink there, but no kill as Flaric drops in. Angel, ooh, just about not spotted by Olof. That molly's going to send him back towards the APC as well, and the tags come through as he retreats. Utility, but 15 seconds now for Hellraisers. Scooby's going in through B. That's not going to matter. Flaric needs to stay alive. The bomb has been dropped, and the round has been lost. Nothing they can do versus Nico as he tucks himself into the truck and mow down Hellraisers. 5-0 for FaZe Clan. And you know, one of the big talking points that we've already seen from this team is that, you know, there is a lot more belief in this system now, and the calls from Nico seem to be, you know, really working out for FaZe. They've been playing some very slow Counter-Strike, especially on those T sides, and with everyone believing, Harry, that's what makes all the difference. As Chad and Alex were saying on the desk, you know, you need everyone to be on the same page, and that is very much happening here for FaZe. A delayed play from Hellraisers. The time wasn't a problem versus Fnatic, who were keen to re-aggress, but FaZe know exactly when to fall back into the safety of those bomb sites.
And that's the thing, there are definitely some IGLs out there who can work perfectly fine sitting bottom of the board, right? It doesn't get in their head at all. They're confident in the rest of their team. But I've always looked at Angel as someone who likes to, you know, throw himself into the action, and his calls are quite related to his individual performance. He's not someone who's content with being bottom of the board. And I think, you know, a really good example of that is that Fnatic matchup on Mirage yesterday, right? It did all kind of start to fall apart tactically when Angel fell off individually, and so here him getting off to such a slow start for HR maybe could bring some problems later on down the way. Miss Nade would have found a boatload of damage if it had connected. There's 3 players there. That would have been perfect. They all would have been brought down to what, like 50 points of health.
And Nico just missed the timing. He's been jumping all round long, and Hellraiser's finally moving into water as Nico gives it up. So fair enough. But unfortunately for FaZe Clan, it will be info they're lacking. Nades being set up by this T side, but not connecting really anything significant. Nico gets away, and Crush tagging Olof over on A. Nico finishing off a frag, and Angel is now 0-6, Harry. Keep your eyes on that scoreline as James Bond is approaching 50 seconds here for Hellraisers. That bomb is still left back in T-spawn as well. Need to pick that up eventually, and Nuki will go back for it. Hellraisers moving up through the connector towards that A site. They've had no success down on B, but at least Crush has cleared out the toilets and gotten close up on this top site. Only 2 CTs here, but that should be enough with Olof waiting for that smoke walk. Crush might just give it to him.
Oh, Olof, my word, that flick was so fast, you'd be forgiven for missing it. Nuki, looking for the trade, at least is able to deal with Rain, but there's always Nico at truck. The second you remove one of the heads of this beast, 2 more grow back. And now Flaric, he'll get mopped up as well. Nico with another hat-trick inside of the A-bomb site. Continual 3Ks just back-to-back from him at this side of the map. And honestly, I mean, I think, you know, now if there ever was a time to just throw it in, now's the time to change the pace, right? Go for a faster round. I think as well that's an interesting thing is like it almost feels like the old guard of the CIS scene love this slow approach, but I feel like a lot of the new teams are a lot more about being very, very fast, very free-flowing. You look at the individuals in this team, really I'm on about Crush more than anyone, but obviously he came from that Vega Squadron lineup, right? And they were known back for that major performance of just Mach 10 rushing bomb sites, playing that very hyper-aggressive brand of Counter-Strike.
I think one big detail you have to remember here with the calling is that, you know, you can play so and you can run those really tactical rounds, but at the end of the day, Harry, the thing that matters most is getting those kills. And if you're just not winning the duels, it doesn't matter how slow or how smart you play it.
And that's
you're walking into these crossfires that FaZe kind of set up.
And that's why I would just love to have a bit more contact made early in the round, right? Because you're not even giving yourself the chance to get these, and FaZe just aren't giving you the aggression you've been hoping that they would. And so finally now, you know, first 40 seconds of the round, we see Scooby go for that peek into the B bomb site, and they've removed Nico. They know that time and time again, he's been up here towards A. So I am wondering if maybe that's going to now spur Hellraisers on. They get a pick at the B site. They know that B is going to be feeling the pressure a bit more, so there's always a chance of an over-rotation. But at the very least, you've removed the man who's caused you so many problems up towards that A side of the map. Angel pushed from short. Sees both players there, so that's some information gained. He's going to hit the James Bond scoreline, but having now to try and lead this team from beyond the grave. Crush is bested up on A. And this man advantage that HR had has been stripped away from them. Yeah,
that's the re-aggression from Faze. Pays off so well on short. Olof never left the divider position, and Nuki trying to rotate down towards B to join his team has been killed. And with that, 20 seconds, Hellraisers, this is very obvious. Faze know exactly what's coming through. Nuki's rotation gave it away, and they will just kill everyone on this lower site. 7-0, no signs of slowing down, even with the man advantage for Hellraisers. And you know, falling back into this passive setup, Faze are still able to deal with them, some aggression on the CT side that goes unpunished. Rain as well doing a stellar job up on that top site, getting a kill on the long lurk, and really not letting Hellraisers have any solo plays. That's one big thing we've seen from this T side already. When Hellraisers are going for these quote-unquote executes and these pushes, they're usually having one lurk. We've had Scooby down on Monster push when Hellraisers take A. We had Crush come out long when Hellraisers hit B there. And not once have those kills come through. Not once have those lurks been successful. So that needs to change.
Oh, we might finally get that change of pace we were looking for, Hugo. The fast B play, they've got to run through that Molotov. And the Molotov has segregated this push. It's cut it in two. And oh no, the Krieg. Oh, Cold onto the USP to finish off that 3K. Faze 8-0. The change of pace is not the answer because it still comes to a crushing end, just like every other round has for Hellraisers. How on earth are they going to get themselves back into this game, both physically and mentally?
Hey, Cole couldn't even see anyone. He had no idea they were there, Harry. Someone's obviously calling, like, they're through, and he's just holding left click and spraying.
Right. Can I just say, that second kill onto Nuki is some of the most BS I've ever seen. Like, Cold is fully blind, and just a stray bullet strikes Nuki in the scalp, and that's him gone.
Poor Hellraisers. Is there any solution here to their suffering, or is it only madness? Rain pushed up. Olof's going to lose his fight. Now Rain's hung out to dry. He's got no teammates. A trade needed, and he's going to get it, but Scooby keeping the advantage in the hands of Hellraisers. This is a pitch-perfect round. This is what Hellraisers have wanted all game long. A 4-on-3 early in the round as FaZe lose the advantage, and Hellraisers with all the time in the world to go anywhere they want. If this comes down to a 10-second push, I'm going to be salty. So Hellraisers can't afford to let that clock betray them once again. We've got Nico in a one-and-done position. I mean, with the Krieg, every one-and-done position turns into a many-done position. We'll see how many he can get, but the flash is good, and Flash just spotted him falling off the top. Nico's not going to get away with that kill. Finally, Hellraisers do keep this advantage and don't get it traded. Nades over the A site do tag Brokey. Bomb's been spotted, so Cold Zero wants to go back up towards A, but he gets dinked in the process, and that makes things very difficult. He fakes the run and falls right back, but Nuki's ready for it. And now Hellraisers, they can ditch down towards B. They know it. Brokey's the only man alive, and he is on the wrong site.
He's definitely going to try and give this a look in, right? Maybe try and get away with some exits on these players as they leave the bomb site, because he knows he can hamstring the HR economy looking forward. He's going on this very, very lengthy wrap. He's actually grabbed that AWP, yeah. So now just going to look to hold on to that. He can lock down Monster, and I think that's a pretty safe bet, right? Odds are you're not going to lose this fight too heavily. You can just get one and run away from the round. So good positioning here from Brokey to guarantee that AWP is held forward. Hellraisers, they finally break the curse. They'll get their first on the board.
Flash is coming this way.
Ooh, yeah. There we go. And now for the rest of HR, yeah, they're like, well, we can't go that way. But they will at least get to hold on to these weapons.
And more importantly, take a first round, right? Break that curse, break that streak. It was an 8-0 start for FaZe Clan on the CT side. And sometimes, Harry, all it takes is one.
Yeah, it is getting out of the rut that's the hardest part. But it's like once you're there, you know, you can start to get the ball rolling a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, I like the aggressive setup from FaZe. They're definitely bored of waiting around for Hellraisers to push at the 30-second mark. But, yeah, early aggression getting punished. So FaZe might fall back into more standard starts here where they don't take that fountain control. They just set the AWP up in middle to try and find early picks. And that is going to be the change here. FaZe, lots of Molotovs early to deny Hellraisers control. Crush even getting tickled a little bit by one. And you can see how conditioned Hellraisers are. They're jump spotting playground. They're scared of FaZe being in their map. Or their part of the map. And only now are Hellraisers really starting to move out through middle properly with all 5 players and that bomb. Nico spotting connector, sees nothing, and that allows FaZe to set up with this heavy short setup. Nico can even flash his teammates in if they want. And more information gained that this area is clear. So now FaZe, with a double short side setup, are going to need to send a rotate round. Nico moving towards that top side can go and watch long, and that's where everyone is right now for Hellraisers.
Olaf, Molly goes in, and that's enough to force the retreat back from toilets. Now the smoke's coming into this A-bomb site. Nico pushed ahead of the dumpster, tucked into the corner, looking for a gap in this smoke, but they're already up and past him. He hears that bomb going down, and with players in bank, he knows it's going to be a CT side plant. He's lost Rain over in the toilets, and now he finds himself sandwiched. Cold's trying to get up through CT, and Olaf's got to win a fight elsewhere. Still back towards the toilet side and still undetected is Olaf Meister. I feel like he could do it all in this round for FaZe, but he's quickly dealt with by Flarich. The Cold and Brokey 2-on-3, it's not impossible, but it's not likely either, and Cold knows it. He's going to bow out of this round. He's going to concede it. Hellraisers, another one on the board as that long play works brilliantly. And the decision to push CT, one that I actually love, and you know, they're helped out a bit by the fact that Nico, on the back of seeing those smokes go in initially, actually pushes past the dumpster and into that cubby corner, right? At that point, he's dedicated into the bomb site, whether he likes it or not. And so that smoke that cuts him off just allows all those players to get free CT control.
Yeah, and one big detail here is when FaZe losing a couple of rounds in a row, they lose the Kriegs, Harry, and those were mainstays of the early CT side start. Think about this Cold Zero spray down on Monster with the Krieg. Think about Nico holding that A site with multiple triple kills as well. Well, now they don't have them in their repertoire, in their roster, and that makes things very difficult. Well, not very difficult, it makes things normal.
So something else, mate, is you touched upon this already, how for the first 8 rounds, anytime Hellraisers were going to make a play, we saw one player lurking, and that player so often ended up feeling more like a liability than something that Hellraisers could rely on. For these last two, they've just been grouping up. They've just been going together into bomb sites. And I think this is where, for Faze, they're going to realize now this passive play back in the sites isn't going to work. They've got to try and answer with aggression if Hellraisers are just going to be grouping 5 players up and hitting bomb sites.
Faze wasting a smoke of Hellraisers every round now with these Molotovs over towards Playground. Hellraisers don't want to lose the map control as they've already been pushed in the Playground before, so fast flashes over towards Long. Olaf is here, but Rain is supporting. Olaf getting flashed out, and he doesn't even care because now he's not blind and he can hold the angle, so Rain can tuck back in his little hidey hole as Olaf waits for the re-peek, but Flash keeping Nuki back. Hellraisers now pushing out into middle as well. But Faze, with the man advantage, has just fallen back into this extremely passive setup. Nico even getting into the toilets is going to be another thing for Hellraisers to deal with on this triple topside setup. With multiple rounds being won on A, Faze have at least put the majority of their players here. And at any point can send someone down. That could be Olaf as Rain gets more information by pushing up short side, but still with a smoke in his face. Hellraisers now set up outside of the B site with 4. Lots of utility to execute here. Let's see if Faze can stop them.
Oh, the train passing over has actually just delayed those smokes for a few more seconds. Mistimes it with the Molotov a little bit. And that's allowed just a few more seconds for Faze to begin this rotation. Brokey hidden over here at the barrels, and Scooby missing that jump up the first time around punishes him dearly. Oh, Nuki, good for 1, but the trades come through, and it feels like every time that Faze get around, there's a player getting a multi-kill, getting a 3K once again. It's Nico. I think this is his 3rd 3K of the map.
And he grabbed a Krieg, Harry. I saw him grab a Krieg.
Ooh, he got his little hands on one of them. And when Hunter's cousin's got a Krieg to play around with, you do not want to be on the other side of it.
Absolutely not. There it is. Orp as well, still being held by Olaf Meister. We've got a bit of a low money situation for Hellraisers now, nearing the end of the half. Pistol and an SMG. And look at how many smokes Hellraisers have to use just to gain what would traditionally be basic map control. This time down towards B. Angel getting through that Molotov short side so he can set up outside of B. But he is the only man here right now. The rest of Hellraisers, again, back in mid. More smokes down for Faze and Cold Zero. Careful. Not going to walk into those streamer bullets by Angel. A shot from Rain, doubling up once again. It's Nuki with a trade, but Olaf is still here. He has been spotted, that being said, so Nuki might be hesitant to re-aggress, but with a flashbang forcing Olaf back, that will give Hellraisers the room they deserve. 4-on-3 regardless for Faze there. Absolutely fine sitting back on this A site. Especially considering they've cleared out all of B and they've got all this information that this will be an A play after all. One player needs to either stay around B or short water to cut off that connector play, but that's a spot. But the other can full flank if they like. Cold Zero still sitting around Monster side, and I kind of like that, but right now it won't come into play because Hellraisers is set up outside of A with 2 on long.
Oh, but you want to know who's here? You want to know the man. He's inside this A-bomb site. It's Nico. Olaf even catching that timing onto Angel as he rotates up. And now for Faze, they've realized with a player rotating up through the connector, this A-play is going to come through. But the immediate kill onto Nico at least means this bomb plant is afforded to HR, who once again are going to set up on the CT side of this site. They've got to try and contest for bank control. And thankfully, it's only Brokey here. Not going to make a withdrawal from this round, though. Our Faze is this bank control taken by HR. Now spurs Brokey forward. He hears the scope. Faze, they've got to pick up the pace if they want to go for this one, though. Nuki, if he can get 1 kill, this becomes very, very doable for HR. But Olaf going to find that kill on the immediate peak from Nuki. And now it's Flarich to clutch. He's been holding bank all round long, and Brokey just didn't give him the peak. A 10th round on the board for FaZe as they make that 3v2 retake happen.
I mean, ultimately, such a smart play from Brokey. Really good call from FaZe to delay that one. You could see desperately looking for frags were Hellraisers on that A site, but nothing was presenting themselves, and they don't want to stray away too far from that bomb. They don't want to go deep into CT because that's where multiple players could be. As you said, it's a traditional point of rotation, but Brokey just waiting for contact to be made, so he has an angle freed up down below. Olof, big kill as well, jumps up and gets legged with the AWP. Very unfortunate stuff from Nuki there in the post plant. 10-2 now, Harry. Bomb plant does facilitate the buy, and Hellraisers, they are looking keen for this B site. Smoke again on the Molotov to get Angel out into water. They can get flashed in, but no need right now. Hellraisers just ready to execute.
Important to note in this one, Hugo, if you look on the minimap, numbers 1 and 2, Rain and Olof have both gone aggressive into connector and mid, and they have seen no one. So this allows for this 3-man stack inside of the B bomb site to come through from FaZe. And now, on the back of spotting coldzera on the pillar, that actually will be the opener found. Brokey desperately trying to get out of danger. The flashbangs are good to keep him alive, but it's only briefly as all the kills come through for Hellraisers, and no money left on the side of FaZe. This is almost definitely going to be a save here.
Yeah, great execute from Hellraisers. Really good utility as well. FaZe getting forced back by the flashbangs, and I'd love to see more of that on this T side where they... oh, dear. That's a heads-up play from Rain. Olof's even holding with the orb, but he doesn't know someone's close. He's double-scoped, so no way to win that fight. Flarich will take him down, and that's a free orb that can be picked up for Nuki in the follow-up. That's assuming they want to play fast and aggressive. You know, assuming they don't want to continue playing fast and aggressive, of course. So Flarich isn't going to take it. And Rain holding onto his gun just above the T spawn. I want more of that from Hellraisers, though. Group up outside of a site. Even though FaZe had the info, they were ready for a B player. They had 3 players prepared, and so many flashbangs denying information, denying lines of sight for FaZe. And Hellraisers able to trade their way successfully into that bomb site. 3rd round taken, a chance for a 10-5 half here, and that would be just fine.
Yeah, it's that first kill onto coldzera that's so important for Hellraisers, because he's set up to play a bait and switch almost with Brokey, right? He's meant to get the attention of these players as they push in to allow Brokey and Nico to do so well. And so the moment they deal with him, that is the thing that forces Brokey out of position. It's the thing that opens up him and Nico to that volley of flashbangs that come through. FaZe not allowed to play their own game there at the B bomb site, and now a tactical pause to follow up. It's time to try and maul this one over.
Yeah, I wonder what the solution is as well for FaZe, right? Because they haven't got a lot of money coming into this follow-up round. So working off of loss bonus, we'll likely just see pistols around this save gun from Rain and a buy-up in the last of the half.
I'm feeling like we see like a long push.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think
you want to force here?
Rain's
or?
got so, I don't know, man, because with like buying,
Right,
it really is pick your poison, and so they've gone for the investment.
I respect it, to be honest. It would if the alternative is you full eco this round and then you just about get a buy in the last. And FaZe, they know that they are the better team here. They know that they can, you know, win around with Deagles. That's how they closed out the series versus Vitality yesterday. And with shots like that, Harry, now you see why they balked.
Olof is physically the fastest gamer in the world. Man advantage already picked up for FaZe as he strikes one from the tally with a phenomenal scout shot down through mid. Angel cannot catch a break. That's probably one of the quickest little scout flicks to a head I think I've seen. And of course it's Angel on the receiving end. And you can really see FaZe just trying to gimmick their way to get as many openers as they can. This is the round to bring those gimmicks in, right? Throw these boosts up, play these little off-angle positions.
And again, because of this short setup for FaZe, they're afforded to triple stack that A bomb site. Yes, okay, Monster's open, and that is a potential. Hellraisers, if they went all through Monster, they could plant, and FaZe would have no info. Look at Scooby, but they're not doing that right now. And FaZe, with an advantage and with a kit, can play retake. Flash over. Cold is waiting for this contact, and Flarich might just give it to him. Cold, stand up. And there it is. Oh, the spam is a little bit hectic, though, and that could have been a free kill for FaZe Clan, but instead, it'll be information for Hellraisers. FaZe have to run right back into the B site because Hellraisers are trying to beat them there. Brokey with the Deeg in the smoke. Crush getting damage off, and Brokey's blind. Rain's killed him from upper, and that's a bomb falling down into the pit. Rain laying down the pain with this M4. Flash assist from Nico on all 3 of those kills, and that was the one gun in this round round, Harry. The one gun wins it for Faze.
Stellar smoke throwing in from Brokey as well, right? He drops the smoke off of the pillar, and what that does is it allows the two players on short to actually get back into that site, and they have just one angle to hold, right? The push up from barrels. They know that everyone's coming from Monster. They've had short all round long, so you've left yourself an avenue open. Oh, I'm so glad we get to see it. Look at this, look at this. How?
The double scope as well.
He didn't even actually... like, he sees him in the single scope, then he zooms in, and then just flicks.
But yeah, look at that play from Rain, right? Like you say, Harry, the smoke just sending them into his crosshair, right? If you're playing Heaven,
you've got one avenue. You've got one avenue to get into that site, and Rain's holding it.
And it could be dangerous to peek wide if you're a Heaven player and expose yourself to both pit and short, but he doesn't need to because they're only coming from the pit, Harry. Really, really nice stuff from Rain. Faze ultimately looking as we would expect in this series, 11-3 up, a force buy win to keep their money intact for what will be the last round of this half. And Faze have everything now. They kept every player alive. So, AWP out again for Olof, Krieg for Brokey. He's now having a go with it. We got the AK on cold, just savage stuff. And Hellraisers, at least not getting mollied in middle. They will have a chance to push through, but it's Crush alone. Oh, that Molotov. Tagging Angel, he gets away without the nade being too complicated. Faze with a very heavy mid setup though. 3 players pushed. Rain is even not satisfied with that. He's going to go one step further.
Nico could be in a lot of danger though, right? He's not looking down at the bottom of connector just yet. He's actually decided to fall on back. Rain, even going aggressive down through mid. So much information picked up for Faze, and this could be the undoing of HR. He's coming in on this wrap, cold setup at short. He knows he's going to get re-peaked, and there's the challenge from Scooby. Still, though, this flank from Rain could end the entire round before it even begins for Hellraisers. All it's going to rely on is HR either playing slowly or Brokey buying some time. Here's Rain shutting down one, and this has divided the push in two. Brokey winning his fight. Nuki, sure, he gets the trade onto Rain, but that bomb is now out in the open, and 2 players inside of the site with Nico rotating in through the connector. Nuki and Flaric, they've got to do it all if they want to take round 15.
Oh, and there's Olof just wall banging out the first man. Flaric alone, and Brokey's going to re-aggress as well. Too many players down on that B bomb site. Faze put up a wall, and they put up a solid CT half. 12 rounds at the end of it to only 3 of Hellraisers. We saw Hellraisers CT side go flawlessly yesterday versus Fnatic with some ridiculous retakes. Let's see if they can replicate that in the second half, or if Faze will close this one out quickly. Join us after the break for Hellraisers CT side.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I want to be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime, I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said all. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said all. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. You say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody. And you say you wanna be somebody.
FaZe Clan making a meal out of Hellraisers, and boy, does it look delicious on that CT side. 12 rounds to 3. They will just not let them into the bomb sites, and Hellraisers are going to need a monumental comeback on their map pick of all things.
Yeah, to say they're on the back foot really does feel like an understatement. That pistol round is a necessity here for the Hellraisers squad. Spirit seeming high as fist bumps all around. Angel taking a bit of time to make sure everyone's on the same page here heading into the second half. They know how much of a deciding factor this one round can be. As the Hellraisers, we saw a very, very strong CT side from them just yesterday. Can they replicate that once again here versus the Titans of FaZe? Smoke's going in towards the B-bomb site and a fast B play from FaZe Clan.
Oh, Angel getting caught as well from the flashes. Nico going to overwhelm him, and coldzera wraps the site. There's so many T's here, and not enough men to stop them. Rain laying down more. Dink into the Heaven player. Nuki's down to 3. He is up for the chopping block, and Brokey will put him on it. Flarage, will he walk into the guillotine that is Rain with a pistol? Although, it goes the other way around. Rain getting his head taken off gives an opportunity. Will Flarage take it, though? FaZe are not giving away a kill. I like this reserved play. They're going to time a repeat, I imagine, when they hear him get closer. And you can see all going wide at the same time. Flarage can't find a shot, and Brokey will lay 2 kills into that round to get FaZe another pistol round win. They are going to be 13-3 up, and Hellraisers, well, they will... I mean, they're going to get 1 buy round, Harry. They're going to get 1 buy round if this continues. And the game will be over. So scary stuff.
The thing that's even more dire there is that was a 4-man stacked B-bomb site. Not that you would know it from how easily FaZe are able to run over Hellraisers there. Force buy in from HR. And this means if they don't pick this round up, it's going to be 15-3 before we see that first buy come in. And that's if they let it go there. They might just be force buying till the very end of this game.
Oh, okay.
Look at those odds. 1-26.
So if you want to bet on FaZe, don't even go to Betway, because they're not going to give you anything, Harry. But if you believe in Hellraisers, well, that is the place to be. Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, I think those odds speak volumes, don't they? Those are the most one-sided odds that we've seen all Pro League long.
I've never seen 1. It's always 1.01.
1.01, yeah.
That's just brutal. Give them a chance, guys.
Next is going to be like 0.8. Like, you put money on FaZe, they win, you lose. And, well, you know, I'm hoping that we can see a bit more from Hellraisers. That's the thing. Like, we were really hoping that this CT side would have had the answers. The problem is they're not even going to get to play a CT side if they don't pick this round up.
Dear. 50 seconds here, and FaZe have got the bomb back in spawn. That can go wherever they please. As Nico... Oh, timing. Looking to sell a fake on this top site, throwing out a smoke towards it. Barrage challenging, and so is Angel. So it's information. There are 2 players here, but that's the problem. Hellraisers have a quad A-side setup. They're going to start rotating down towards B. Look at that mini-map, but it might all be too late. It might all matter too little, because FaZe are walking through Monster. 20 seconds now. Crush is on short, and they haven't cleared that one out, but now the CT's arriving on the site in just the nick of time.
A few of these players are tagged up. Nuki's able to delete one of them. The bomb's now dropped. It's got to get planted. Brokey's got to stick this. And oh no, he taps it. He did this yesterday. I don't think there's enough time. And he gets knifed. Yikes.
That's what you get, I think, for faking the bomb with 5 seconds left. Yeah, it's the second time he's done it. Obviously, you know, rough situation to be in. You know that he was planting with short open, and Crush likely is going to kill him regardless, but it's either plant the bomb or lose the round. Those are your options, and you've always got to stick it, Harry. We're definitely seeing that come through. Obviously, inexperience for Brokey at this kind of level, but... yeah, well, I just think, I feel like it's pretty...
Well, I think in chaotic rounds, you know, like the 1v2 yesterday, that one was a little more out there as to why he didn't. That one there's like 7 seconds left. There's maybe enough time to fake a bomb plant, and you're in all the chaos of everything, right?
Yeah.
There's all these comms just lighting up the team speak, and no one really knows what's going on. It can be easy to lose your head in those situations. For Faze, it's not the end of the world, right? That's the thing. They've given up a fourth. It's only going to become a problem if Hellraisers start to build up some CT rounds, because that's when you get in your head.
And right there is a phenomenal call by Angel to rotate down towards B once they spot Nico throwing those lurk smokes, right? They get 4 players in that B site right as Faze are walking through Monster. Like 5 seconds difference, Faze get a plant, they win the round. But instead, Crush catches him off on short, he drops the bomb, and Hellraisers have enough players to even whip out knife kills onto the bought Faze clan members. That is a ballsy round for Hellraisers, and I want more of that here as we head into this CT side. Bai is coming through. Faze are going to be ecoing with pistols, but they've not exactly got a lot behind this. Just those regular old Deegs. Flaric having to fall back off of long, even getting flashed in for more, but he's not interested. Olaf spotted on the cross and playing